Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Where the Owls Sleep. It's Sunday evening. You're back with the Parliament. We were very close to having a full Parliament this week, but still not quite there. Me and Stocky here as always. How's it going, Stocks?
Yeah, mate, I'm having a fantastic weekend because I didn't have to watch El Crapico earlier on.
Oh, you didn't watch it in the end, no?
No, I couldn't make it, so I donated my ticket to my dad, and he probably hates me for it.
Fair enough. I would do the shameless Tottenham thing and call it a cup final, but I won't go down that route. But our other two members this evening, Jack and John, how's it going, boys?
All good. Very glad the season's over for me. So, yeah, fine.
Yeah, still bleeding out for the next 3 weeks in the gutter, but yeah, otherwise not too bad. If yesterday was our version of a cup final, we well and truly didn't turn up. Took a wrong turning on somewhere, but appalling stuff.
We're nearly there though, John. We're nearly there. Jack's season's finished. You're nearly coming to an end, so not much more pain left in it yet. But we will get into this weekend's football briefly, just to prolong the pain a little bit further. We will start with the results. I'm not sure. I know Stock didn't catch any games this weekend.
I caught one game.
Games and see
we'll
anything.
Save that for Jack, mate.
Find any of them any interesting games you watched this weekend, John or Jack?
I was at one, which I'll let you guess, but and in terms of like watching on TV, saw bits and bobs of Arsenal, bits and bobs of Brighton, Newcastle, more the second half, and kind of had Chelsea, Liverpool on, but not really full focus.
Fair. How about you, Jack?
Yeah, I watched some of the City match. I actually fell asleep, which probably summed up that game. A bit of Villa, and unfortunately didn't watch any of the Arsenal match. And yeah, not much today, to be honest. I'm just in a period of wallowing and self-reflection, so want to see what can entice me to watch football at the moment. Yeah, so I did watch a bit, yeah, but I'm guessing Arsenal at Bournemouth would have been probably one of the best ones to have watched as well.
For me,
just
yeah,
purely for the meltdown.
For the entertainment value of it, of Arsenal just randomly falling apart for no reason. It was quite hilarious.
Yeah. I'd imagine people with bigger minerals than me would have put some money on Bournemouth. I thought they were an absolute nailed on to win today, to be honest. And I saw it was 1-0 and thought, okay, maybe I'm not that intelligent, but yeah, I don't think that's a shock, is it?
No, not at all. Not whatsoever. It's weird though, because Arsenal, out of all of the teams in any of the European semi-finals, are the only one that didn't seem to rotate at all.
I couldn't believe when I saw on my phone Rice had scored. I can't believe they were starting him. Like I actually think I checked their team beforehand and didn't even register him because I just thought there's no way you'd play Rice. Seems crazy decision, to be honest, but
they went pretty much full strength. I don't think they really rested anybody. It's mental. I don't get it. Whereas all the others, like Barca and people like that, made loads of changes, and even Man United, Tottenham today made loads of changes. Chelsea just played two completely different teams anyway, so it makes no difference.
Yeah. Just Jekyll and Jekyll.
Yeah.
Occasionally hide.
Right, we'll scoot over the games, really. We'll just do a quick roundup. Obviously, the title's done, relegation's done. City winning put them in a very strong place to finish top 5. Villa have put themselves back in with a bit of a shout. Chelsea have put themselves in a strong position. Arsenal messing up has actually made it a race for second place, weirdly. And Newcastle didn't take advantage of it. And we've got Nottingham Forest tomorrow evening to complete the set. So at the minute, the table is looking like this. We did this last week and I cropped Arsenal out because I thought they were away. But now you look at it, considering if we go there and win, then they're in with a massive problem of both of us, or all three of us, Chelsea and Man City, potentially being able to catch them, which is bonkers when you think about it.
Yeah.
But has anybody changed their thoughts on potentially who the top 5 are going to be come the end of the season? I think we all pretty much said Jack wasn't on, but I think the rest of us said Forest and Villa would miss out.
Yeah, it actually gets quite interesting now though, because Villa's last 2 games are Spurs and United.
Yeah.
Now, you would imagine Spurs and United are not going to play anyone, are they?
Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't today. Man United
So-
certainly didn't. It's one of the youngest teams fielded in the Premier League, I think, from what I heard earlier.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, you would imagine that you might look at those 2 games, 4 matches and go and say to get 6 points, wouldn't be a massive shock, but certainly they would have had to have worked for it. So I think Villa now are nailed on to win their last 3.
Well, they've got Bournemouth first, didn't they? That's not I wouldn't put that down.
Well, no, sorry, you're right. Yeah, so the last 2 are 6 points, almost certainly banked. And yeah, but Bournemouth is a tough game, yeah, like you say. But then Chelsea play Forest, don't they, last game of the season?
Well, Chelsea have got us next, then someone in between, then Forest last game of the season.
Man United at home in between.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting though? I think kind of from what Jack was saying, it's like it sounds like what makes it really interesting is like the teams that are already in the spots, yeah, cool, like not bad, but actually for the fixtures left, I'd actually want the fixtures that Forest and Villa have. Because like with Forest particularly, like they've got like the extra game, but like because they've got Palace tomorrow night. But then it's Leicester at home, West Ham away, and if you could do well in those 3 games in the setup, you're at home when you come to play Chelsea. So like Forest have actually got a bit more of a chance than I thought they had.
Right now, it's in their hands, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can Forest right now, as of this second, they control. They win their next 4 games, they get 5th or higher.
Yeah.
It's completely in their hands now, which is where anyone would want it, isn't it? But yeah, it looks like to me it's just singing out that. I'm assuming that's goal difference, isn't it? Chelsea have got 21 and Forest have got 12.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it looks to me, I reckon that could be.
Yeah, but you say that if Forest win all their games, they.
Oh, for sure, and also, very much
they will
linked
be
to
above Chelsea regardless of what Chelsea do because they played Chelsea last game.
That's what I'm saying. It's completely in their hands right now, as of this moment. It's in their hands because of that fact, but also very much linked to the Spurs and United aspect of Villa's games. Is Forest play Crystal Palace tomorrow? Now, if you're a Crystal Palace player with an FA Cup final in less than 2 weeks' time, are you going into every tackle?
Depends if you're guaranteed a starting berth in that final, I guess.
Very fair point. Very fair point. But I mean, would you be keeping your star players on after 70 minutes unless you? I mean, I still can't imagine every single player is going to be 100%, even if the manager, the manager might not even let them be on the pitch for the whole time. So, I mean, you are right though. Anyone that's on the fringes or is not 100% secured, they'll be going all in, won't they? But this is when it becomes interesting, though, isn't it? Towards the end of the season, that who plays who, and also who you're playing, what they've got left to play for. It just becomes a bit of a... Because when I looked at it, I started looking through the fixtures and I was like, actually, I've got to really look at this to say what it would be now. But yeah, it's... I mean, I don't. So when so Newcastle play Arsenal, when is that game?
It's Chelsea next weekend, Arsenal the following weekend. Then Everton at home last day of the season.
So they would have had a game to lick wounds post PSG, or they've still got a few games after that before the Champions League final. And if they manage to get there somehow,
yeah.
I mean, the wounds they'd be licking would be at Anfield, which would be interesting. So they'll have to give a guard of honour as well. So You know.
Well, it's
Serious.
a selective thing now, isn't it? I think only the first team they play after they win it are sort of obliged to do it, but the other teams can
Okay.
to do it if they want to pass
Fair.
that.
Oh, that's all right. Arsenal are such a classy club. I'm sure they'll do it.
I reckon they'll do it as well because idiots.
Really like to
It's
think we won't.
because I remember like Mitch, when you beat Palace, I remember texting you and saying like, do you know what? The rest of your fixtures in like April looked all right, but May looked a little bit trickier. Are you confident going into Chelsea next week?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay.
Beat Chelsea, beat Everton, and we're pretty much there. I think we're there. Yeah, we beat Chelsea, beat Everton, and we're there.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else gets past, other than City. I don't see any of the other teams getting past 67, 68 points.
What?
Goal difference is tight as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we think Arsenal are going to do what Spurs did a few years ago and finish third in the 2-horse race?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I actually, I've actually gotten, depending on what happens in the game between us and them, they might finish fourth in a 2-horse race.
Could you imagine? Oh,
Well, I mean, it could actually be even funnier than that. Imagine if they actually dropped out. No, but I'm serious. If you look at that, that's not absolutely crazy, is it?
It'd be very tough though, because Chelsea have got both us and Forest. So for them to make up for both us and Chelsea to make up 4 points on Arsenal would then be difficult, I think.
And unfortunately, Arsenal's last game of the season is away at St Mary's, so that's kind of 3 points sort of guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's like the Southampton vouchers printed and ready, you know, like.
Yeah.
No, Ramsdale could have the game of his life.
It'd be lovely, wouldn't it? I mean, that like the I don't know, like the subplot going on in that could be beautiful, but
he's not on loan, is he?
No.
Oh, thank God.
But he's one of those where like he's got a buyout clause, like if we're relegated. Well, I mean, sorry, he's got a buyout clause.
I know. I was just thinking if he was on loan, he's not allowed to play against Arsenal. So
no. That'll be his last game. Still got I don't know where he'll
we're going for him.
Yeah, whoever's going to get relegated next season will buy him because that's
yeah.
Isn't it? That's just sort of.
Was he Leeds or Burnley?
Well, it won't be Burnley, will it? Because they've got Trafford.
That's true.
Yeah, I reckon they'll have Pope next year.
Who?
Pope.
Burnley.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be some.
They won't get rid of Trafford. He's just won Golden Glove.
Well, there's a lot of talk of that the deal's pretty much already done.
That would seem a very bizarre position to.
To be fair, actually, Newcastle are one of the few sides Ramsdale's continually linked with. Not that I'm saying there should be anything in that, but like
that's not going to happen.
It's not happening. No, it's Newcastle and Chelsea that are largely linked with him.
How old is he now? He's got to be late 20s now, isn't he?
I want to say 28, 29. Let's have a little googly.
Definitely not going to happen.
That's one way to kill the Newcastle feel-good vibe, getting Ramsdale. Unless he's getting number 2. Unless he's getting...
Blimey, he's 26.
Right, he's been relegated like 4 times at 26. That's crazy.
He turns 27 in a couple of weeks.
Big Roger Johnson vibes there, the relegator. That's what they called him at West Ham.
Was it Nigel Quasi that had like...
Yeah.
But I think it's Herman Hreiderson's got like is it 5 he's got? I think it was Herman Hreiderson was relegated 5 times or something. It was like something mental like that. But, did any of you hear about like what happened? Sorry, I know this is going veering slightly off course, but did any of you hear about like what happened yesterday at the Leicester Saints game?
What when
the substitution?
Oh no.
Oh, that was good as well. Like I've got to admit, like for a game where you turn up and you leave feeling like you kind of feel like it couldn't really have gotten much worse. I think even going there, like the whole narrative was already written. It was like Leicester haven't scored at home in 2025. They haven't won there in something like 10 games or so. You sort of knew the script was written. But yeah, it's like the ref going down after 12 minutes was interesting. So I watched it back on Match of the Day, and like Stocks would probably appreciate this next reference, but it had very like Lex Luger, the loaded elbow sort of thing about it. A guy's gone past him and slightly brushed his arm, and he's gone down yeah, he's just like completely capitulated like. But it was just weird because there was nothing really said, and then after a few minutes they were like, "Oh yeah, the fourth official will be back in a minute to restart the game," and we were there for like 12 minutes. It was just players were just having little kickabouts and that amongst themselves, but there was a substitution in the second half, about 10, 12 minutes in, and Simon Rusk took off Matty Fernandez, who's basically been the only player at like all season really that's got any sort of semblance of could hold his head high. And the fans finally actually turned on to seemed to after a whole year of kind of happy clapping through the whole thing. The fans kind of turned on it, and then something that I don't think I've ever seen at a football game. Matty Fernandez's name was basically just chanted from the 57th minute all the way through till beyond the final whistle. It was just like a phenomenal effort from the fans. It was like, but yeah, like one of those sort of like really peculiar, bizarre things I've never seen at a game.
That is crazy, to be fair.
Why did they take him off?
Well, they came out afterwards and said it was something to do with the fact that he flew back to Portugal for personal reasons, so wasn't up to it. That to me sounds like a bit of a flimsy excuse because Thursday he was like, "Yeah, no injury concerns. Everyone's like fit and good to go." So 48 hours later, it was like, "Oh no, he's been in Portugal." Blah 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 blah. But I think he was just trying to kind of claw back and cover up a bit. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounded like a bit of a crazy game, to be fair, because that was like the ref's Premier League debut as well, from what I heard, and he
Was it?
ended up getting knocked out by Jordan Ayew.
Yeah. And then like Vardy blew his whistle because of course he's got to, in some frame or fashion, make it about him in that moment. But no, but yeah, she said that he did it because he saw Southampton were like, well, we were allegedly counter-attacking, which
Yeah, well, interesting stuff. We'll see how it pans out, because a couple of weeks ago I was pretty much done. Thought Newcastle were there. Now I look at it and I look at the fixtures and I'm like, oh god, it's looking a bit ropey at the minute. But let's see how the next few weeks go.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into the main subject of the evening. What we're going to do is we're going to look at all of the cup competitions. So that's Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, FA Cup, and then all of the playoffs, and we're going to pick a winner from each, and we're going to see how that pans out and see how many we get right. Starting at the top, which will be the Champions League. This is how the semi-finals stand at the minute. Arsenal go to PSG 1-0 down on Wednesday, and Barca Inter, after an amazing game in the first leg on Tuesday night, have the reverse fixture in Milan. First off, who do we even think's going to be in the final?
But if you just look at that screen now, if you're the organizer of any cup competition ever, and the second legs of your semi-final is one team's just had a 3-3, and the other team's got to chase a game because they're 1-0 down away from home, I mean, you'd be absolutely over the moon with that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, buzzing. 100%.
Like, they are both. I mean, we'd watch it anyway, obviously, perverts, etc. But I mean, they are like basically the dream scorelines, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. Arsenal have to go to PSG and open up, and PSG are going to love the fact that they're going to have to open up. And if we get another game like the first leg into Barca, then we're in for a rat treat.
Well, I would imagine Inter will be looking at that going, we'll have to score minimum 2 to win. We ain't going to beat them 1-0. There's no way Barcelona will be kept scoreless.
Don't you reckon we'll see a lot more Italian pragmatism this time round rather than...
It seems to play like that. Inter don't, anyway.
I always thought they were quite a solid defensive unit, though.
Their wing backs are too lively. Dumfries, we got 2 last midweek, didn't he? He loves to get forward, and DiMarco's pretty similar on the left.
Yeah,
but they do play.
It's their season on the line now. because they've absolutely fucked it in the Serie A. They were about 7 points clear 4 or 5 weeks ago, and now I think Napoli are three or 4 points ahead of them.
Scott McTominay's Napoli.
Yeah, well, look, to be honest, mate, he does look really good for them.
Handed out of Manchester United for being shit. He's going to go win a Serie A. I'll rest my case there.
Yeah, they are. He is performing very well out there while Man United are struggling massively. I think I saw a quote from, might have been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer earlier in the week, saying something along the lines of the fact they got rid of McTominay and Fred is the reason they're having the problems they are. Which no one can really argue with at the minute because they've been terrible since both of them left the club. Anyway, less of Man United. Let's start making some decisions based on this. So, we'll go with Inter Barca first because the interesting first leg. Do we reckon we'll get a similar type of game or something a little less crazy? Because I feel like I'd probably be leaning towards sort of an Inter 2-1.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah.
I think that Lamine Yamal just looks unstoppable, and that Rafinha looks unstoppable. Almost certainly one of them will score. But Barcelona play a ridiculously high line.
Yep.
So I think, to be honest, actually the answer to that is I do think it could be another 3-3. I don't think it's going to be tight and cagey because I think both teams will be thinking the other team can score. I'm not letting it go to a 1-0. So
did anyone see Tyrone's goal?
Yeah, it was sick, yeah.
Oh,
front of his old man as well.
Yeah.
There was a few good goals in that game as well, to be fair though.
Like Lamel hit the woodwork like 3 times, didn't he? One of them was a great save from who's that keeper? That's always been underrated. Is it Sommer? No. The Swiss dude.
Yeah, Jan Sommer. Yeah.
Is it? Jan Sommer, yeah.
Jan Sommer, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's so good, and that was a really good save. It's a bit of a shame because it would have been an outrageous goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm backing I think Barcelona will go through in that actually.
Yeah, I think it'll be be narrow, but Barca, be Barca. Probably high scoring as well, to be honest.
It's down to you, Stocks. We're 2-2. We've got to game 1 and we're split 2-2 on who's even going to make the final. This could be a long night.
How's it just gone?
What? So you've gone Barca as well, Stocky? You've gone into.
Gone Inter. Me and Stocky have gone into.
Yeah, you're just going off Channel 4 nostalgia, mate.
No, I'm going off Lautaro Martinez having the best couple of seasons of his life, and having.
Is he not injured?
I don't know. I don't look into it that much, mate.
I thought he got injured during the first leg, didn't he?
Because he started crying on the pitch. And they were like, "Oh, that." But he must know that it
must be a season ender sort of thing.
Oh,
I'm sure. I don't know 100%, but he was crying on the pitch though. So
I was just looking at Samir's predictions that he messaged us. B thinks Arsenal are going to win the Champions League, so he's no use to us currently.
Oh yeah, he's. Oh wait, it says. It says that he's still going to start, apparently.
Okay.
The top story is Lautaro Martinez returns to training for Inter.
It says will not play on my app. He's not even a probable. It says will not play. Pavard, Correa, Martinez.
Interesting.
Cool, that's pretty class to have that.
So I mean, if he doesn't play. It says that it's suspected that Mehdi Taremi, the Iranian striker who has got 1 goal in 23 appearances this year, is likely to start. So yeah, I'm locking in Barcelona there.
But then, if you're into Milan, do you possibly just try and keep that as close to your chest as possible, and then just hit them with it, like let them prepare for the idea that Martinez ain't going to be there, and then just starting lineups come out.
Just go full Eubank.
Yeah.
That's what they got to do. He's not coming. Then all of a sudden, there he is.
From the bowels of the San Siro. Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Making it all about himself on someone else's night out. Sorry.
Look, if Taremi, get Marko Arnautovic on.
Yeah, he's banging him in for him.
To be fair, if we're working on the basis that Martinez is out, that would probably sway me to go Barca.
It's a shame you said Inter, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
because that's what you said.
I'm going to work on that basis that he's out and go Barca for that reason now. Then.
By the way, just to clarify, are we still everything? All of our winners, are we doing a combined bet as was suggested, or are we just doing this for fun and giggles?
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, I thought we was all going to put our individual bets on. Is that like a?
I thought we was doing a combined. I thought we was having a discussion to come to a combined decision. I just didn't want to condone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we can do that.
Giving bookies money live on stream, but we've done it now.
Okay.
Fair play. I'm going to do my own side one though. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay.
But interested to see what everyone thinks. But
yeah, be interesting to see what we get to. Right, so we've got Barca, and then we're going PSG Arsenal. I think this one might be a little bit more straightforward, but
yeah,
I feel this is going to be done after about 20 minutes because I feel PSG are 2-0 up very early on in this game.
Yeah, mate, that atmosphere is going to be hot, and I'm not sure Arsenal are going to be ready for that. By the way, did you see how many people were slating? Like, it weren't even like fans doing it, like press, like actual journalists were like, "Oh yeah, there was all really loud outside the ground, but as soon as you got in there, it was pathetic."
Yeah. Lots were saying that. Like, an Arsenal fan that I know that was there said the actual whole stadium melted due to the noise that PSG were making. Like, the Arsenal fans went quiet, and the players, it was like they were in an away game because the PSG fans just took over. So now imagine what's going to happen in Paris. I think Arsenal come out to try and get an early goal and just get smashed to pieces in the first 20 minutes.
I think that'd be the worst thing they could do.
100%
agree as well. Yeah.
God.
But that's Arteta's biggest flaw for me, is that he picks the wrong tactic at the wrong time. A lot.
Someone that didn't get the props in the first leg, Coutinho in the middle of the park. Oh, mate, that first half hour, he was sumptuous.
Yeah. Is anyone else getting bored of people telling you how crap he was at Wolves when he wasn't really that bad?
No. Yeah. So, all right. But PSG got in there, right? So he was obviously not crap.
Yeah. And if you actually watch back, you can see that he was a very, very good footballer while at Wolves still. Maybe a little lightweight for a 38-game Premier League season at the time, but still extremely talented.
Yeah, I think it's not exactly going out on a limb, is it, to say? I mean, if Arsenal go through, then serious props them, because, like you say, that is a very, very good team, a no fear team, and the atmosphere is going to be brutal.
Yeah,
those three things together just says PSG aren't going to lose, are they?
No. And I think that's actually a better win than knocking out Real Madrid if they beat PSG and go through.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
Right, so we're into PSG in the final by the looks of things.
But Barca PSG.
Barca PSG, even.
Just covering all bases. Yeah, I mean, what a game that would be as well.
Yeah, that is going to be a ridiculously good game. Seriously
good. That could be just a basketball game.
It could be one of the best Champions League finals we've ever seen.
Just play fly goalkeepers and everything. Just go full speed on it.
Wait. Are us Southerners on board with this fly goalkeepers thing?
No, it's Rush, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Rush all day long.
What the hell is a fly goalkeeper?
Just pathetic.
Yeah, you're 3-1 on that one, mate.
To be honest, that is literally...
Yeah, that pisses me off, seriously. But that's fine. Yeah.
Wow. I've actually never heard the term before. We knew what you meant, but...
What did you call knockouts, by the way, Jack?
Wembley.
Wembley.
Yeah, Wembley's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Wembley.
60 seconds.
Wembley,
60 seconds?
Heads and volleys and Tunnel of Death.
What's Tunnel of Death? What's Tunnel of Death?
See, exactly. That's why we're just fearsome beasts in the north. Tunnel of Death was that if you lost heads and volleys, people would line up on the wall, and you would have to run through that line of people as they kicked and punched you.
That's called Bulldog, isn't it?
We just used to play Red Arse.
No, Bulldog was
bend over
full length thing, wasn't it?
Ball at them.
Red Arse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends if you're playing street rules or not. Red Arse is a bit soft. But I won't shock you here. Our school banned Tunnel of Death very, very quickly. Yeah. It's the time of people wearing Rockports as well. So Rockports plus Tunnel of Death was just, recipe for disaster.
I'm just imagining some primary school in the northwest looking like prime Galatasaray, you know, like.
Yeah.
Just...
Welcome to hell.
But yeah,
on the wall.
Yeah, seriously, I think that kind of was the issue. But yeah, that really could be a special. To be honest with you, I don't actually think I've made a special effort to. Oh no, I did watch it last year because of City, but I'd say out of the last 5 champions, because it's a Saturday night, isn't it, as well? Now, I'd say out of the last 5 Champions Leagues, I've probably only watched 2 of them, whereas before that, I couldn't even dream of missing one. But there's no way I'd miss this. If it's PSG Barcelona, absolutely no way I'd miss that.
Yeah, no chance. Definitely got to catch that one. Who are people swaying towards, though? Because it's a tough one. I think it's another game that's going to be won in the wide areas mainly. Whoever gets the better down the flanks.
If it's El Clasico in a few weeks, and if Barca win that, it's almost impossible for them to not win the league. I think they probably would almost certainly win the league, because there's no way. Because if you level on points in Spain, it goes on head to head, doesn't it? So if they beat them twice in El Clasico and are 7 points ahead, that means they'll be able to rest players, Barca. Like PSG obviously have the luxury of doing. So that's another big game for them, just because it's obviously an El Clasico anyway. But I think just Barcelona for me.
Okay.
I'd have to agree. I'm edging it to Barca as well.
I think it would be a negative impact to PSG if they're resting their players for 3 weeks in a row, which is what they tend to do.
Fair point.
It's really difficult. Really difficult. Because
who are the bookies' favourites right now? What are the actual odds to win the Champions League?
I've got them open in front of me for one of them, but I don't know what provider we're using, or if we're allowed to say that on air.
We can use whoever. It makes no odds to me. You can say, because we're
the one that.
Go on, go for it.
The one I'm looking at, it's got PSG 6-5 on, Barcelona 9-4, Inter at 4-1, and Arsenal at 13-2.
Oh, but obviously Barcelona 9-4 is 9-4 because obviously they've still got this game to play, isn't it?
Yeah, so
yeah,
they're in a slightly weaker position in their tie.
But I mean, if it was Barcelona PSG in the final, I mean, that could be like an all-time 6-4, 2-1 for the draw, 6-4 for the away team. I mean, I have no idea how I don't think you could split them, could you, if they both got to the final? There's no way you're getting bigger odds, massively bigger odds on one over the other.
No chance. It's going to be as tight as they can possibly make it at the bookies.
I'll just about go for if Barcelona are going to knock out Inter, I'll go Barcelona to do it.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's 3. I would have gone PSG personally, so it would have been 3. It's 3-1 anyway. So it looks like, as a collective, we've gone Barcelona. Like it. Right, rolling into the next one, the Europa League.
To be fair, this is quite fun because we can just reuse this segment next week when all of our picks go wrong, and then we'll just go straight to a right. Who's going to win the final then?
that Inter-Arsenal final that we weren't predicting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll put on the bet after midweek.
Well, we may as well put it on before to get them better odds, but it wouldn't surprise me if we're scurrying back there on Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how that one goes, because it literally could go wrong at the first hurdle, because Barca and Inter play Tuesday night, which is the first game out of everything we're going to speak about right now. So let's see how that goes. It might even be worth, betting. You might get better odds betting on the results of each.
But then if it's a draw, though, you lose that, don't you?
No,
straight
you can
away?
bet on to go through, can't you?
Oh, like winner of the tie sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, on that basis, Barcelona must be evens, because I'm assuming they'd then be evens for the final as well, which is where their 9-4 obviously comes from.
Let's see.
But PSG 6-5 is actually really low odds when you think about it, because
winner of the tie, Inter 6-5, Barca 8-13. On the night to win the game, full time result, Barca is 2-1, and Inter is 2-1, and Barca are 11-10.
I mean, you'd have to be crazy to be putting any sizable money on that 11-10 to win away from home in the Champions League, knowing you've got extra time, there's no away goals. That's way too low. But also shows how much the bookies fancy him, to be honest, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right. So, Europa League. This one's probably a little bit more clear-cut-ish, because Tottenham have got a 3-1 lead going to Sweden to play on a horrible AstroTurf in the cold on Thursday night. Man United have got a 3-0 lead, bringing it to Old Trafford after smashing Bilbao last Thursday. Is anybody going to go for an upset here?
Yeah.
I thought it would probably be me and you that were going for an upset. Where are you going for your upset? And we'll start there, Jack.
I'd absolutely love it to be Old Trafford, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be. Very, very, very disappointingly, of course, but it's just not going to be, barring a true freak. I think Bodo might beat Tottenham 3-1. So it would go to extra time. I saw it this morning. Obviously, one of my best mates. He's Norwegian, and I because I get random football recommended accounts pop up on my Twitter because of the one Norwegian I follow, and he was saying that their two best players who were suspended for that Tottenham game are both back and will both straight be in the starting 11. And their captain, who has been injured, is going to be straight back in the starting 11 as well.
Yeah. That was pretty. I couldn't have. You've literally echoed what I would have said, apart from I didn't see it on Twitter. I can't remember how I saw it. I think I was just researching Bodo Glimt because I didn't know a lot about them. And then I discovered that they've only played like 4 games in their league so far this season, because their season's only just started.
Yeah. It's a summer league. And I just think this psychologically. I mean, I know everyone knows this, but psychologically, Bodo must have been over the moon with that last-minute goal, and Spurs must have sat there and gone, we all know it's very unlikely that we would have lost 3-0 away. Is it crazy for us to be losing by 2 goals on an artificial pitch? I don't want anyone to kick me from the pod here. I appreciate they've got some loyal Spurs disciples, but I think they'll lose 3-1, and I think Spurs might do it in extra time then, but I think it'll go to extra time.
Just to be the devil on your shoulder, licking your earlobe, that's currently at 18-1 as a correct score.
it's irrelevant. So, but if I put it on, mate, they won't lose 3-1. So I will happily take.
Yeah.
If we could just get like a little donations thing from Spurs fans, I will not bet on that result. If you donate to us in the pod, but yeah, it's irrelevant what the odds are because if I put it on, it won't win.
The Spurs fans aren't happy already, Jack.
There we go.
But I think they'll win in extra time.
Okay.
Wow.
So you think Tottenham go through?
I think they'll go through in extra time, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Because of the, as you've just said, 4 games into the season aspect.
Okay. Fair. What do you reckon, Stocks?
They're going to properly scrape it through. I reckon they could be. I reckon they'll draw on the night. So go through, score, draw on the night. And their goal will probably come off someone's arse or something like that. They'll get through, but they'll be fortunate, I think. I'm not sure they'll go there and turn them over.
If you would like a tip, Bodo absolutely love corners. They have a very narrow ground and balls can bounce from anywhere randomly and just go out for a corner, whereas they would just go straight out for a throw-in on our normal pitches.
Vicario as well with corners. Oof, juicy.
Yeah.
And then, John, what are you saying? Because I feel like I'm going to be outnumbered again here.
No, I think very similar to Stocks. I don't think Spurs will make it easy for themselves because they never do. But I would find it very hard to see them drawing a blank. So I could see a score draw and Spurs getting themselves through that way.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Personally, as much as I don't want to get cancelled by the Spurs fan community, I actually think Bodo are going to go through.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Based on
they're bad, but they're not
Tottenham
that-
are terrible, and we watched Tottenham at Tamworth on a 4G, and they were even more terrible than they normally are. And they're now going to Norway to play on a cold 4G against a much better team than Tamworth. So
yeah, that's true.
Throwing all of that in there, that is my reasoning behind thinking that. And
interesting.
Spurs fan said Vicario shocking from corners. He's now very confused by everything I've just said. So I apologise, but it's nice to have you in it.
But also, Spurs fans should be extremely confident in the fact that James, you and I, let alone combined, if we both think the same thing, it's almost impossible for that to be right.
Yeah.
And I do think if I mean, Bodo are gonna have to go for them, aren't they? Very much like the last tie. This is, Bodo have got to go for them.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, just like Jack said, just to back up your confident Spurs fan, me and Jack fund a couple of holidays for Paddy Power every single year. He goes to 2 nice trips just based on what me and Jack lose on his website.
Not to like Skegness either. I'm talking like oversea bunker in the Maldives.
Right, so we have Tottenham from one semi-final in the final. This one's probably straightforward. Does anybody think Bilbao have any chance of going to Old Trafford and turning this game round at all?
Nope.
Nah, not by that many goals.
Yeah, me neither. I was thinking if Bilbao had got a late goal like Bodo had, it was potentially on.
There's a chance.
But just can't see it. Really just can't see it. So
Nah,
we're into the final where Tottenham Man United, which based on Premier League form is what you would traditionally call an absolute bum fight in a final. Who do we reckon is going to come out on top?
Well, purely on the basis of my hatred for United, I'm going to have to say Spurs.
How funny our opposites are, Jack. Man United.
You might just get outnumbered just because we're all Southerners here and living near
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah, look,
This is
Ah.
absolutely stupid.
I think United
Do you know what?
would win, but I'm saying Spurs just out of hope.
My head says Man United, right? But there's this little part of me that thinks, in the like, this is a bit more of a long punt, but I actually feel like Spurs could win it, and in the long run, it would actually be better for a lot of people who don't like Spurs, because I think Spurs getting into the Champions League next season, particularly if that then means Levy gets to like not sack Postecoglou for like another 2-3 months into next season, I think it could leave Spurs in a lot more bother next year than it's actually worth. I know that sounds odd. I think there is a world where like Spurs get into the Champions League, Levy does what Levy does, which is generally the bare minimum net, or basically signs players that wouldn't really better what they have in their first 11, but just buys players to say he's bought players.
Yeah.
And I think they would end up in a position where they're just as clueless at times in the league next season. It'd be even harder because of the demands of the Champions League as well. So, don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I don't know which way I'd go with this one. I just think, for some reason, I'd have to go Man United. Not for any hatred of Spurs or anything. They just seem to have it in them in cup finals, and they're getting pretty much back to full strength at the minute as well. And
Diallo being back is a huge plus for them as well.
There's just a jamminess about them, you know.
I actually think I'd probably prefer Tottenham to win, but I think Man United will win.
It's a huge game for Man United financially. Obviously, I'm based in Manchester. I see all the local press, and I know we all know the situations there, but it's like it is huge, really big for them. Really, really big. It's going to let them skip probably 2 years, I reckon.
Yeah. For this conversation, I'm going Man United. I actually personally think Bodo are going to win the whole thing still.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, I would love that. But,
So yeah.
Well, you think Bodo will win the competition? You think?
Yeah.
Man,
I've just got a weird feeling about it, and I don't know why.
I mean, there'll be loads of if that's the case, then I'm telling you right now, that stadium will be 80% Manchester United fans. Because Bodo have 15,000 fans, no matter what anyone says.
Do they even have 15,000 population?
No, they probably don't.
I'll jump off of Jack's shoulder and onto Mitch's. Mitch, 25-1. If you're feeling tingly.
Whatever you're licking there, John, I don't think it's my ear. I'm telling you that now. Right, so are we sold? So are we now saying it's a Barca Champions League, Man United Europa League?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
And
I'm so dejected by it, but yeah.
Yeah, it could yet get worse because we're now rolling into the Conference League, and we'll chuck Chelsea in the final because there's no way Djurgården are going to come back from 4-1 down at Stamford Bridge. That's just not going to happen. So the other game has a lot more jeopardy in it. Betis beat Fiorentina 2-1 in Spain, and now have to go to Italy. I wouldn't even know where to start with this game. I think these teams are all very even, actually, to be honest. I could potentially see exactly I could see the scoreline reversed and it going all the way to penalties, and it's literally a flip of a coin at that point. But John, what are your thoughts?
I have to admit, I'm probably the least qualified of everyone sat here to be really saying anything beyond. I'm with you. I couldn't split Betis and Fiorentina. I've not watched enough of either side to make a really educated guess, so I won't waste people's time on that. I feel like you will be fairly tight. I'm gonna go maybe Fiorentina to edge it on penalties, but don't take that with much more than a pinch of salt, really. You know.
Yeah. Does anyone actually have any strong views on this game, rather than a fleeting kind of half guess at it?
No, I think they're actually in identical positions in their leagues as well, or near enough.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. They've more or less got the same number of points. So
Oh,
Betis
really?
6 and Fiorentina are 8th, although they've got the same points as 7th.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So Fiorentina are 8th.
Yeah.
So does this get you into the Europa League, this game? The final, winning it?
Yeah.
Does, yeah.
Yes.
So they have more than, because Betis are higher than 8th, aren't they?
Yeah, they're 6th.
So Fiorentina's season is on this then, isn't it?
What I would say, they got previous in the competition. They got to the final, didn't they, a couple of years ago? So they want to right some wrong. So on that basis,
Go on, Stocky.
might
Tell us who they played and what happened in that final. I know you're itching to tell us.
I'm not. Once Man United beat Tottenham in the final, then I'll start saying it again. To be honest, I won't be able to crow about it because Chelsea are going to walk through, and then it's just not very interesting anymore, is it?
Big up Spurs fan. Right. Sorry,
I'll go Fiorentina.
Fiorentina.
Chelsea final.
Yeah, Fiorentina for me.
I think that's a clean sweep because I would have gone Fiorentina. Even though I think it's going to be tight, I just feel, I don't know, something in me says that they're going to go through to the final. And then...
Home field advantage, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know, there's just something about Real Betis that doesn't... I had a look through their squad earlier and nothing really screams out to me, so I'm...
They got Pablo Fornals.
Huh?
They got Pablo Fornals. Yeah. Put me in a tough place. I'll still say Fiorentina. I've said it.
I know how you love Pablo Fornals as well.
My sweet prince.
So that leaves us Chelsea-Fiorentina final.
Fiorentina.
I'm in the Fiorentina boat as well, because if Chelsea stick with the team they've been playing in the Conference League, I think Fiorentina beat them. If they go against that and bring some of the actual Premier League side in, Chelsea could win it. But I think Fiorentina beat the Europa Conference version of Chelsea.
Just thinking about this, right? Do you reckon there's ever been a case of a team playing a weakened team in a final because they have to focus on the league? Because for Chelsea, because the game's mid-season, isn't it? The final's in a couple of weeks, I assume.
No. The Conference League final is the Wednesday after the Premier League finishes. The Europa League final is the Wednesday before the Premier League season finishes.
Ah, right. Okay, so that I would actually say Chelsea then.
Yeah, I think Chelsea, to be honest.
Right, but I thought that it might be the case that Chelsea would rest teams in a final because they've got to focus on top four. But now I know it's afterwards, then yeah, I'd say Chelsea actually.
Nearly all what you'd call their first team are registered in the squad. The only one that you would say wouldn't is Colwell's on what UEFA call the B squad.
Okay.
But everyone else looks to be there.
You think they'd probably go there, have a really loaded bench, and if it wasn't going right, if it was going pear-shaped, they'd suddenly sort of change things up.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I'm still going to say Fiorentina, actually. I'm going to flip-flop. Fiorentina.
I'm sticking with Fiorentina because I think if Chelsea don't get Champions League, they're in the Europa League anyway. So I reckon he just lets the players that have gotten to this point in the tournament play the final anyway. And then if they've got Champions League, he does the same thing. I just feel like it's going to be the same Chelsea team either way. Because they're not going to need to win it to qualify for the Europa League. They're going to finish in the Europa League.
That's what I'm saying. But Fiorentina, Laviola's team is it's their season, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's their season's on the line.
Yeah, I'm Fiorentina. So we're 2 for Fiorentina with 2 to go. John, Stocks, are you either of you going against that? Actually, no, the question should really be, are even you joining us with Fiorentina? Because that seals it.
I'm going Chelsea.
Oh, Stocky.
It's difficult because my head says Chelsea, but my heart says Fiorentina because I want them to win. Fuck it, let's make this bet interesting. Let's go Fiorentina.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
So we might be able to join Paddy in the Maldives. We'll wave to him from our. We'll wave to him from the other bungalow.
So far we are Barcelona Champions League winners, Man United Europa League winners, and Fiorentina Europa Conference League winners. Right, back over to England. We are rolling in to the FA Cup final. Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. Which...
You don't think this is the hardest game to predict out of all of them?
No, I think this is pretty clear cut, to be honest.
I think it's City's.
Yeah.
They're just.
We all going to.
I can't see City losing in 2 FA Cup finals in a row. Just can't see it.
Now that they're in the final, what I said back when we did our predictions just before Christmas of Pep will want to leave this season with something. He will not allow for them to not turn up on the day. I just can't see it now. They're in the final. If they were going to go out, they would have gone out before now. They would never have got this far if they were going to slip up at some point, I don't think.
And Haaland's back as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they're starting to get over the line in games that they aren't necessarily playing brilliantly in. So you kind of feel like it's coming back slowly. So it's hard to bet against them, really.
They're starting to look like the juggernaut City it started a lot later than it normally does, but at that point where they're just churning out wins again. So I can't see past City personally.
Yeah. Be nice for Palace to win. My Norwegian mate, he is a Palace fan, so he's flying over for the game. So if anyone hears of any spares, please let me know. But yeah, I would like them to win. Palace win for him. And my cousin's a Crystal Palace fan as well, Eagles. But a lot of my best mates are City fans as well. So it's actually really great for me, to be honest, because I'll ride on someone's coattails. Not sure whose it is just yet, but there will be coattails to be ridden, and I shall do just that.
Drinking off the back of someone else's joy. It's a fantastic plan, Jack.
Well, I haven't got my own, have I? So, yeah. I mean, knowing my luck, mate, both these teams will fucking lose now. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say things like that. But no,
I'm in third in a cup final.
Yeah.
Only Tottenham could do that.
But yeah, I think yes, City's to lose this. To be honest.
Nice. So are we all sold? Have we all gone City?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. So right, we'll add City to the list. We will add City to the list. Right. This is where the conversation gets really interesting.
Let's go.
Because we are rolling in to the playoffs in the Football League. We're going to start at the top and work down. We have the Championship playoff. Sheffield United, Coventry, Bristol City, and Sunderland. And for some reason, I'm missing Jack. How is that even possible? Sorry, but he's back. Apologies.
Maybe the computer anticipated just going to the League One ones first.
Yeah.
Got to save the best for last, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, surely.
No, we'll do it in order. It's only fair. We'll do it in order. So we're in the Championship at the minute. Sheffield United, who finished third, and then I believe it was Coventry, Sunderland, City, wasn't it?
It was Sunderland, fourth, Coventry, and Bristol City.
Okay, fair play. Correct. I stand corrected. I should have really got a little bit of form up on these, but I didn't even look at the form tables. But
I can help you out with that if you want.
Here we go, John.
This is the type of thing where I could put a fiver on a team that plays in red or white will win it, and then Coventry win the final 1-0.
It's,
But yeah, it's the playoffs are so hard to call. So hard. I mean, we all know this. I mean, the League One and League Two ones, obviously, we're going to discuss them, but they're just ridiculous. But I think this is probably, I reckon this is probably the lowest odds winner than any other league in Sheffield United. They'll be comfortable favourites, I think. Sheffield United to be promoted.
it's an interesting one because I wouldn't. Yeah, like this is the only out of the three divisions. This is the only one where I think I can actually see sort of like tie for tie where this is going. In terms of it, like, and who I think could win it as well. And I can see Sheffield United being in the final without a doubt. I can see that, but if you look at the form book, Sunderland are basically that mate that sort of drinks a bit too fast at the start of the night out. And they're sort of they're form wise, they've just they've gone off a cliff. Like they're actually like rock bottom of the form table with like 1 point in their last 6. And I think at the moment they're just sort of in a similar way to what we were last season. They were just kind of there based off of a really, really good run at the earlier on in the season, and there was no one else that was good. Like that top 4 were cut off from a long time before.
Yeah.
I think coming into it, Coventry are the form team, and I think actually Coventry are going to be the ones that go up. Like the momentum's there. Like I think they'll ride the momentum into it, and it will take them all the way.
Okay, fair point. Anybody got any other views on this one?
I was kind of similar in that I don't fancy Sunderland at all. Their form's been dreadful for a while. I watched the Football League coverage at the weekend, and lots of people on Sky were so happy to give their sound bites like, "Oh, it's the playoff, anything could happen," but that's just them trying to give it the big sell. Form going into playoff helps. So if you're feeling confident, and I think Sheffield are on a dam because they were in the automatics for such a long time, and then they've just been blown out of the water due to their bad form. I think that, and traditionally they have a stinker in the playoffs. I think they don't do very well. So I reckon Bristol will take them. Actually, I think it's going to be Bristol Coventry in the final.
Okay.
Because Bristol were on a high because they just about scraped it on the last day.
Yeah.
Whereas Sheffield United have been resigned to it and probably worrying about it for quite a while, thinking we were so close to going up for a long period of the year. Whereas Bristol be like, no lose gamble, let's go for it.
Yeah, I can't see it personally. I've watched Sheffield quite a few times this year, and they actually do look good.
Fair.
Yeah,
like
I try and avoid it.
I think they'll get to the final. I'd like Sunderland to do it personally, because I know, as I say, I've got some mates that support Sunderland as well. But I don't think. Well, they're not confident themselves.
Yeah, that's because they've lost 5 of their last 6.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I mean, they're openly not. But they're usually pretty positive bunch. One of them actually, because I put on my story on Instagram after the game on Saturday that I just bought end of season awards tickets for Bolton just so I can go and fight the players. And he actually he sent me a message saying book me in. I said to him, when they announced us to stay off the pitch at full time due to the players' lack of appreciation, I just walked straight out the ground laughing. And he said, to be honest, mate, I could have left our game at half time and we still would have got beat. We've fucked up the playoffs. So obviously they're in it, but they just know that positivity that Bristol have got, that Coventry have got, that Sheffield United should still have, based on the fact they are comfortably the third best team in the league. So they're the only ones without it. But yeah, apologies to go all Sky Bet League with you, but it is a lottery.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Sorry, just to piggyback off of what you were saying about the end of season awards there, Jack. I'd really love to see you there in your tuxedo at the awards. Like, it all gives me that sort of vibe of the 100 men versus a gorilla, and it's like Jack sort of like Jack somehow just waylays his way through 99 of them, and then the 100 turns out to be Kevin Davis.
Yeah.
Like,
no, Kevin Davies would be he'd be side by side anyway. Yeah, it's Kevin Davies. Well, if there's two of us, then I would take them all on. Yeah, no dramas. If I had Kevin Davies, yeah, I'd back myself. Yeah, some of the sound bites that came out, I know loads of people that didn't go. Quite semi-influential people in the club as well just haven't gone. Someone that was meant to be getting the fan award of the season didn't go.
Oh, wow.
God, that's something.
That's cringe as fuck, that, innit? Like, I mean, if you're fan of the season, let's be honest, it usually means that your whole life revolves around them. And if you then don't go to get that award because you just really don't like them that much, that really shows what a shit position you're in as a club, right? Like, the lack of respect from someone who literally just has nothing but that football club.
That is crazy,
damning.
to be fair.
But no, on this though, being a playoff, when we went into the playoff season before last, we were 6th and went out in the semi-finals, and it was pretty fair. We went out 1-0 on accurate, which still pisses me off, and then we were comfortably the third best team in our league last year, without doubt. Went through in the playoffs, won away from home in the playoffs as well, first leg. Obviously, that's just a big moment anyway, and then flopped it in the final, big time. So I felt extremely confident in the playoffs, knowing we were the third best team, and we were in in fact, we were basically Sheffield United this year. We were going toe to toe all season, and then we lost 5 of our last 7 games, and then finished third. Even that was by a couple of points in the end, I think. So I think Sheffield United will definitely get to the final, but I think Coventry, no fear. They were at Wembley a few years ago against United, weren't they? And didn't obviously make, scored 3 times, didn't they? I think that'll be the final, and I think Coventry will nick it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point. So we've got 2 for Coventry, yeah?
I actually think Coventry are going to do it as well. I think they'll play Bristol in the final, but I think Coventry will do it.
Okay, fair enough. I probably would have gone Sheffield United, as the term we say quite a lot on here. The football pervert in me wants Bristol City to do it because we've never seen them in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so rolling on, we've got Coventry as the winners of the Championship playoff. Right, now, on the Owls, this next one's the biggest one. It's the big one.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one of the evening. It's the League One playoffs, where we have Stockport, Wickham, Charlton, and that looks like Leyton Orient to me, to be fair. Not sure how they've slipped in there, but it's Orient.
It's a thing of beauty.
It's in there at a canter. 4-1 on the final day.
Yeah. And Reading lost, so they actually did it on points. It weren't like a goal difference thing either. So,
I personally think this is very, 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 very hard to call. Like, so hard to call. Wickham finished 5th. They finished 5th in a 3-horse race. I can't believe Stockport finished 3rd. I'm just bemused by it. Charlton have looked. I mean, Charlton, I reckon, probably would be comfortably 2nd on their second half of the season form.
Yeah.
Maybe even 1st because they beat Birmingham.
I think Nathan Jones' decision to ban them from high-fiving and going to Costa also played a magnificent part in that.
Yeah. And Leyton Orient are in a good run of form, and actually think they look quite good. I think they look good at home. Not so sure about them looking great away. I know you beat Huddersfield away, but so did Bolton, mate. So quite clearly that form's not been franked. Yeah,
Huddersfield's lost. They've lost their last 6 league games.
yeah, they're
So
perhaps
yeah,
they're pony. Yeah. What's the odds for
yeah.
this? Because I bet you really can't separate
So
these.
Stockport 2-1 to win it.
Yeah.
Wickham 11-5. Charlton 5-2. Orient 9-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you've got 3 teams that are separated by less than a point.
Yeah.
That's mental for a playoff.
Yeah.
Because Stockport came third, but actually Wickham are probably the third best team in the season. But actually they're probably not, because actually Charlton are probably the third best team in the season. But Stockport are the ones that came third. So Stockport play Leyton Orient and Wickham play Charlton.
No, it's Wickham, Orient, and Stockport, Charlton.
Orient beat them 1-0 away.
Orient, Charlton.
Oh no! Sorry. No.
Orient,
Forgive
Charlton,
me. You're
Wickham.
right.
Yeah.
No, you are right. Sorry, guys. That's my blunder.
Yeah, Wickham, Charlton. I mean, because Wickham in such a bad run of form, you'd think Charlton will just be able to go for them, but Wickham actually do have a couple of good players. Yeah, it's very. This is seriously hard to call. I mean, even proven by the bookies. Yeah, it's proven by the bookies that this is very hard to call.
Yeah. So we've got Wickham and Orient at home first in the semi-finals, if that makes any difference to anybody making a decision here.
Here's one for you. Orient, no one since the beginning of December, no one scored more goals in the league than Orient.
Wow.
Really? Nice. Love
Despite,
that stat, to be fair.
Top scorer in the league, Charlie Kellman.
Yep.
The other striker, Dan Hadji, got 2 on the weekend. I think we know where I'm going on this.
Yeah, I can't go past Orient getting to the final. It'd be wrong of me to say anything different.
Yeah.
And I think Charlton are the other. I can't see Wickham.
I think Charlton will win it.
I can't see.
I think that's the final.
Charlton. I reckon it's a little bit hard saying Orient Charlton, and Head would potentially say Stockport Charlton, but definitely.
Yeah, I think it'll be Charlton, Leyton Orient in the final, and Charlton will win.
So we have one for Charlton winning it. Are we going Orient? Is anybody going Orient all the way, apart from Stocky? Because Stocky's definitely going Orient all the way.
It's heart and head. Heart says Orient, but my head says, not going to Costa. You're not going to Blue Water with your family. I think Charlton are actually going to do it. Sorry, he is genuinely one of my favourite people in football for all the wrong reasons. He is mental, absolutely mental. His post matches are just unbelievable speeches that he gives. But what about you, Mitch? Are you going all the way with Warrior?
I'm stuck right in the middle there.
Yeah. It's so hard, isn't
it? Yeah. I'm gonna have to go Leyton Orient to win it, but where that leaves us at 2-2. So
do we avoid that out of the bet then, just so that it's
or so that we still have something in for League One? We go Orient. We actually bet on it being an Orient Charlton final.
Okay, yeah, we could do that
rather than betting on the outright winner.
Yeah,
which should be quite good odds then, because Stockport obviously would be big favourite against Leyton Orient, wouldn't they?
I believe so. Yeah. Let me see if I can actually do. I'll have a look through it, see what the odds are. But the first leg, Orient. It's 13-8 Orient, 7-4 Stockport. So there's not loads in it.
Yeah, it's I don't think you'd get any. You wouldn't get any third versus sixth in a league with those odds. Very, very rarely. you wouldn't get it in the Premier League. You wouldn't get it in the Championship. It's very, very, very tough to call that.
I was going to say, if anything, if you want to do it, if you're going to still want to put a bet as a winner, do it as Charlton. Because if Orient win, I don't give a shit.
Well, you say that, mate, but the way that this Aka's building up, you quite probably could give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're like, oh, it's only a couple of £100, and you're like, Socky, it was £15,000 each.
Yeah. so at the minute, from our first 5 selections, we're at 240 to 1. If Orient goes in, it's 1,300 to 1. If Charlton go in, it's 800 to 1.
I would have liked you to have said just 800 to 1, personally. to really try and twist,
800 to 1 if you put in Charlton.
Oh, so you say only then? Sorry, I just want to clarify.
Yeah. Only. It's nearly double if we put Orient in. But, right, we can't split these ones. We've gone 2-2. Me and Stocky have gone Orient. John and Jack have both gone Charlton. So we'll have a little chat.
I mean, my heart says Orient, if it helps, you know.
I'm happy to go Orient then.
Oh.
But actually, no. Let's just think about this, right? I've watched all of these teams play, and I would rank them in order: Charlton, Stockport, Leyton Orient, Wickham. So it would be pretty dumb of me to say Leyton Orient. But also, who cares? I don't really make wise decisions at the best of times. So Leyton Orient.
I'm sure once I've had a dig through and I can bet on who wins each tie, it won't make the odds that much different. I think we'll get similar-ish odds if it will allow it to combine it all as an ACCA.
Yeah.
Because that's the next problem we'll come up against. It'll let me pick them all and put them on the slip, but it probably won't let me put them 2 selections in the ACCA.
Sorry, sir. We do not carry this amount of cash throughout all of our vaults in the UK.
It's okay. They can just pay us in Bitcoin. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right. So last one is League 2, where we have Notts County, AFC Wimbledon, Bradford, and Walsall.
Oh, you don't have Bradford, mate.
What have I got wrong here?
No, Bradford went up.
Bradford went up. Yeah, 96-minute winner.
Chesterfield's the one you're missing.
I've completely messed up the graphic.
So have you done from 3rd to 6th rather than 4th to 7th?
Yes.
Yeah, that is exactly what I've done, yeah.
I just live such a crap Football League life, don't I? That I just knew. I knew what your Premier League following mistake was.
To be fair, yeah, that's on me. So we're not talking about Bradford. We're talking about Chesterfield. As I'm an idiot and didn't realise that the top 3 get automatically promoted. So, yeah.
So I don't know how much of any of you know about Walsall. Walsall were top by, I think, 15 points at one point.
Yeah.
I'm just going on their form table. They did win their last game, but previous to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They didn't win one game of their previous 13. Not one.
Yeah.
In March,
Staggering.
in February, they needed 3 wins to secure automatic promotions at the end of February. And they did not get 3 wins from the end of February to Saturday this weekend.
Oh my God, that is...
Even this weekend, they won their game and Bradford overrun by about 15 minutes because people kept going on the pitch.
Yeah,
So,
and they scored a 96-minute Bradford.
Until the last minute. And it was a deflected goal for Bradford.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, Walsall, it's almost incredible what they've done, Walsall. And
that is proper snatching defeat from the jaws of victory stuff.
Well, they had Nathan Lowe, a striker on loan from Stoke, and they got then 1st of January, Stoke got him back, and Nathan Lowe still finished 6th in the top goal scorers, just looking at it now, with 15 goals. So he'd got 15 goals by the start of January, hence why they only needed 3 wins at the end of February. And they've managed. So, I mean, so they are in an almightily horrific position. Like, form table must
Chesterfield
be...
easily got the best form out of 4.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's
actually,
just
looking
mentally
at the form table, they are, yeah, in the last 15 games, they are 20th in the form table.
Wow. I'm still reeling from that 3 wins from the end of February thing.
I know.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
The reason why I saw it, to be fair, the reason why I saw it is that a guy tweeted it and then has retweeted it saying, "Oh my fucking God, I cannot believe we've not got 3 wins." So yeah, a proper sickener for that. So I would, as on the basis of form, etc. Chesterfield are 4th in the table for form.
Wow.
Actually, no, they're actually 2nd over the last 15 games. So I would say Chesterfield snuck in 7th place. Only got in because Salford drew 2-2 away to a relegated Carlisle. My brother was at that game as well. So they managed to spectacularly fuck it up as well, Salford, which I'm sure none of us are going to care about. But my brother was there in the Salford end. So yeah, they didn't beat a relegated Carlisle, drew 2-2, 2-0 down after 13 minutes. So great for them. So I think Chesterfield.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen looking at the form, I don't think I've seen a playoff where only one of the teams are in any kind of decent form.
Yeah.
The other 3 are all in pretty horrendous form over the last sort of 12 games from what I've just seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 7 points separates them. 7 points separates 4 teams. I bet it's probably close to 20 points in the Championship, and I bet League One is probably 12 points maybe that separates them all. So I mean, there's just nothing in. That's just two weekends of strange results, and that's just 1 or 0 points, isn't it, separating them?
Yeah.
But
weirdly,
yeah.
Chesterfield are the outsiders to win it
With the bookies.
Yeah.
Well, probably because how else would you price it?
But it is actually very tight. It's close. So Notts County 2-1.
So Notts County are favourites.
Yeah, Notts County.
And they finished 6th.
That's weird.
Go on, sorry, James. What is it?
But then we've got AFC Wimbledon 23-10, Walsall 5-2, and Chesterfield 4-1. So there's not loads in it, but
so Walsall, who finished in first playoff place, are 3rd favourites with the bookies.
Yeah.
Which again is very, very, very rare.
Very rare. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Chesterfield for me.
Yeah, I don't know much about any of these sides, but looking at the form tables and such, it looks like Chesterfield have to be the favourites based on sort of that logic.
The only other argument would be that Notts County, you'd like to think, would have a pretty decent home attendance. I mean, Wimbledon's ground is not big, is it? Chesterfield's isn't big. Walsall's don't think is that big, but Notts County must be able to have a pretty big home following. And they're favourites, sorry, you said, didn't you?
Yes.
They're 2-1 favourites. But Chesterfield play Walsall, who are in stinking form. So I think they'll get to the final, and I think they'll win it. So I think, yeah, I'm sticking with Chesterfield.
Yeah, same. And I don't like the fact that the
Yeah.
AFC Wimbledon badge looks a little bit like some Nazi symbol.
It does, yeah.
I've not noticed that until I literally just looked at it now and was like, yeah, that's not good.
Oh wow.
Aufstang FC Wimbledon.
I don't know how that's the first time I've noticed it, because it must have been that way since they became a club.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
horrible.
it has. I don't know how you've just come to that conclusion, mate.
We've played them a couple of times as well, and I've never noticed it. So, right, so we're sold in Chesterfield now. So at the minute, if I can, I don't even know how I can find that, but at the minute we are 1,200 to 1 without League One.
We could actually be talking 15
Yeah.
grand off a fiver then.
Yeah. You weren't far off at all. So let me roll back to the League One, and
I can give you big odds whenever you want. Doesn't mean you're going to win them, but you want big odds, I'll find you big odds.
So it is pretty much, if we put Charlton in, it's 4,200 to 1, and then Jesus, it's 6,500 to 1 if Orient go in.
I'll tell you right now, though, if it got to it and the other ones came in and it was just resting on Chesterfield at Wembley, trust me, I'll be in that Chesterfield end. I'll be in that Chesterfield end.
With your supporting.
Actually, you're right.
Jack,
Actually, I won't be. I'll
be
fly to a different fucking country. Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
For all of our sakes, don't go in the Chesterfield end.
Yeah.
Right, so that is us pretty much wrapped up. I just need to figure out if we can bet on who's.
What was Samir's?
Good point.
Champions League winner Arsenal, Europa League Man United, Conference Real Betis, playoff winners Sunderland, Leyton Orient, and Chesterfield.
Oh no! Sunderland, because I hate Mitch, is what he said.
What Samir doesn't understand is I could not care less about Sunderland. Yeah. It makes no difference.
Your main rival's a Villa, isn't they?
Huh?
Your main rival's a Villa, isn't they?
Where Villa's main rival?
In fairness, 6 minutes later, he said, "There's money on the line. I might change this." So.
Yeah, no, he's I don't know why his hatred's for me so deep, but if it is, he's placed it completely in the wrong place, because I really couldn't care what happens to Sunderland. It makes no odds.
Well, even just with his Arsenal shout, he's pretty much halfway to the odds of ours anyway.
Right. So Samir's input sounds like it would have been pretty negative to what we were talking about, looking at it. So the only one he agreed, he agreed on Chesterfield and Man United. Other than that, he wouldn't have helped very much. So that's a bonus. Right, I'll have to have a look in to see if we can split League One and just go for the two finalists, and then we'll have to speak on the group and make a decision from there. But
we should have done is just tried to create every single probable result. Just do like 500 takes of it. Wait until all the results come through, and then you could have posted a video saying, "Can't believe we got this 100% right in the pod." You just see the timer in the top left just repeatedly skipping on like 7 minutes at a time. Like, wow, that 9.5 hour pod, that's incredible.
You could ask everyone to do voice notes with, "I pick Charlton, I pick Orient, I pick Wimbledon."
That's it. I've got enough recordings of all of your voices just so that I can blend it together to make it sound like whatever the outcome was, we were right.
But you see people doing like voiceovers for films, and it's like Charlton, Chesterfield, Leyton Orient. But we didn't do that. We've nailed our colours to the mast.
We have nailed our colours to the mast, apart from in League One, because the head and the heart can't be split, and we're gonna just bet on the 2 teams to get to the final. So, yeah, we've done well this week. It hasn't ended up being nearly 3 hours, and I dread to think how long the last 2 weeks would have been if we actually had 4 or 5 people on rather than just 3 of us. Because, they were long sessions. To be fair, this one will be a little bit easier to cut down. So, fantastic stuff, boys. It's been a pleasure as always. We've had a little bit of action in the chat this week, which is good to see. Thank you for those people who have been in there. And me and Stocky will be back tomorrow on VAR Court on the Monday pitch, SpursKingsTV. I'll also be on Wednesday, SpursKingsTV on the Rival Show, which is always a good laugh and a good bit of banter. Anybody else want to plug anything before we go?
Nope.
Right.
Just my phone in on charge, but other than that.
You're such a dickhead. Oh, well. Oh, fantastic. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you all next week.
See you later.
See you later.